So let's say the Lord's grace is sufficient. He'll be able to get you to where you're trying to go. I want to start out with that before we get in a quick little message. Basically about, he wanted me to talk about letting that thing go. So whatever that thing is, whether you're stealing, lusting, envy, strife, anger issues, whatever it is that keeps tripping you up in a habitual way, letting that thing go. God usually, I've discovered in my life that God usually starts with the disciplines. Spending time with His Word, keeping your mind and conscience sharp and sensitive to the matters of God. Otherwise, the world will seep in and dumb it down. Also, what I want to say, or fasting. If we were to do the things that He asked us to do, praying, getting up, spending time with Him, setting apart a certain time and day and hour, all these type of different things, praying, giving, things like that will open up the doors for God to flow through you, and it'll prevent a lot of the things that we're going through, a lot of these compromising things that's got us bound up in a snare trap or a stronghold on our lives. Whether it be whatever sin it is, anytime you become more, it becomes bigger than what God's importance is. Whatever it is, drinking, anything, smoking cigarettes, whatever it is that God is asking every one of us to do, to address, those are our children of God. Some of the folks that ain't saved, He's asking you to become saved first. Then He can begin working on you. And it'll be for our betterment and our enjoyment, and for the most fruitful and most beneficial things in our life. And you will find joy if we just do the things that He asks us to do. So I say it's in the disciplines, the upfront disciplines, and not in the actual moment of. God starts working way before we get to the moment of falling. And He might subtly say, fast. And you be like, I don't feel like doing it today, I give in. Then that day you run into a situation where you're not strong and your spirit man ain't strong enough to handle the temptation that's coming your way. You still got the power and authority to choose otherwise, but those things, the flesh that He tells you clear in His Word, weigh against you. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, the little tidbit of wisdom God gave me, and I'm sharing through you. So from Him, through me, to you. God is still good, and remember, His grace is sufficient. So if you're alive, He's still working on you, and you still got hope and chances to, not to say it's just going to lead you to Christ, but to have a fruitful life, a close relationship with Him. And that is, I'm telling you, He's our best friend, and we don't have to be walking around guilty. I be walking around guilty sometimes and so alienated from Him just because of the decisions I'm making. I'm so far from Him, and I'm living in the residuals, and that is not the way God wants it. I used to have a fun, joy-loving, close, beautiful relationship with Him where I could just come to Him, talk to Him, but sin and compromise gets in the way of that. And God just sitting there saying, why you keep doing that, allowing them to keep tripping you up like that, or why you doing that to yourself? Sometimes you ain't even the devil doing nothing, or the demons doing nothing. I'm full-fledged running into it. Feet first, no clothes on, butt naked, into a vat of sin. I'm sorry to paint that picture for you, but hey, that's something we be doing. We be quick to rush in because sin is enjoyable for a season, but little do we know that death is there, seeking to tear us apart. The devil don't tempt us because, and the enemies ain't always the devil directly. The demons don't tempt us because they are friends and they want us to have fun. They tempt us because they're trying to destroy us secretly, and this is the most bumpiest road, but we're talking about bumpy things right now. So God bless you. I hope the word today blesses you, and remember to draw close to Christ and that He loves you, and He's always wants any instruction He has is always for your betterment. So God bless. Remember that.